Ahoy there, Elder Scrolls Legends fans, and welcome back to DBN and Friends. I'm DeadBrokeNerd, and this is a series where I highlight some of the amazing, talented members of the Elder Scrolls Legends community. I've got an awesome guest this week, someone whose work can be found almost everywhere in the community, from thumbnails to memes to educational videos. So, without further ado, let's chat with SzotyMAG. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of DBN and Friends. I am really excited to welcome SzotyMAG, also known as Hiking Emmerich. Thanks so much for coming on the show today, man.
Well, thank you for having me. It was quite a long time since we actually talked about doing this interview, but now that most of the Masters things are over, now we got time to do this.
Yeah, for sure, man. Right, it was quite a long couple weeks there, a big stretch there where everyone was pretty busy, and I especially know that you yourself were quite busy. But for anyone who doesn't know you, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, stuff like that.
Well, people from YouTube might know me as Hiking Emmerich, and people from everywhere else know me as SzotyMAG or Zoti, or however you like to call me. And well, I'm basically a YouTuber who also makes a bunch of other stuff for the community, mostly graphics and video editing. And that's my niche in the community. I'm very well known for that.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's seen pretty much any of the top YouTubers or any of the tournaments or anything like that knows how involved you are.
I often joke about that, like being involved in like literally anything.
Yeah.
And everything.
If anything's going on in the Tesla community, Sadi's got a hand in it. So, oh man. I do want to start by kind of asking a question that I ask everybody who comes on the show, which I want to ask about your origin story, right? So, like, how did you get involved, one, in kind of graphic design? Like, where did that interest come from? And then how did you bring it over into Tesla?
Well, dude, that's a good question, because I've been interested in, I started out actually with Source Filmmaker. If anybody knows it, he knows that the Source Filmmaker is absolute trash. Like, no joking. But I sunk like 2,000 hours into animating there. Actually, the first inspiration I got to work in like 3D was the Dota 2 cinematic trailer, because it looked awesome, and I was like, wow, I want to make something like that, and that's why I got into studying and learning Source Filmmaker. But over time, I kind of realized that it has a lot of limitations, obviously. And then I switched over to Blender, where I started learning the basics of 3D and 3D modeling, which took me to video editing. So basically, what I'm doing right now is they're always inspired by, I saw something cool and I wanted to make it. So back in the, like, I don't know how long ago I started playing Dota. I'm no longer playing it, unfortunately. I just can't keep up. It's a hardcore game.
Oh my gosh, dude. I totally relate. I'm a huge Dota fan, but it is so hard every time a new patch rolls out.
Yeah, it's like relearning everything. I'm so behind. So anyways, the Dota trailer made me learn animations, and the Dota 2 meme videos, like the over-edited ones, made me want to learn video editing. So something I deemed cool, something I found cool, I wanted to make it too. So and that's how I got into 3D modeling, video editing, and animation.
That's awesome.
Thanks to Dota 2.
Yeah, hey, the Dota 2 brings people together, and it apparently builds professions, right?
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. So obviously, that's kind of how you got started with graphic design, right? How did that end up becoming, like, how did you go from being a Dota fan who wanted to learn all these things, and obviously kind of self-taught from what I understand, right?
Yeah, most of it. I wish I went to a school or something, or like an online course, but not really. I just watched a bunch of tutorials.
Well, that's actually kind of cool though, right? Like, the ability in this day and age to say, there's a complex skill, but I can learn it through the internet. You know what I mean? Like that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and it also sounds still crazy to most of people. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
That's I mean, but I think your work speaks for itself, right? And of course, like we've seen so much of it in Tesla over the last several years. So like at what point, like where did you get interested in Tesla and how did you end up becoming this kind of stalwart member of the community who does all of this work for so many people? Like how did you find out about Tesla?
Well, so let me just explain why I'm so in everything. I'm involved in everything, and I'm always. I used to be that kind of guy in Dota 2 as well. I learned how to mod Dota 2 up until they changed how modding works.
Mm-hmm.
So I still pretty much know how to mod the game the old way, but it's no longer really compatible.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did that, I did like customized mods for the community members. Like they wanted, the AOE indicator for spells, it was blue, and they
Mm-hmm.
wanted it to be green or something as simple as
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or,
yeah.
Ursa, the brown bear.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted me to make it into a polar bear, and that's also where I learned how
Yeah.
to use Photoshop
That
because
was
that was a lot of Photoshop work where I just had to color correct everything to white, and Ursa looked like a polar bear. I think I still have a video about it on my personal channel, which do not subscribe to. I'm not uploading anything there, but I constantly see people subscribing. Just
Yeah.
don't,
All
just don't
right.
do it.
Straight from the side of his
Subscribe
mouth.
to Hike in Emmerich. Yeah,
There you go.
subscribe
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Hike in
yeah.
Emmerich instead.
No, I remember.
That's where.
I remember Dota when I first started. I had a modded announcer pack, which is like NBA Slammer Jammer announcer pack or something like that.
Yeah, I used to do that too.
Yeah. So I remember that, but now they sell everything from the announcer packs to the little ambient visuals. So yeah, sorry, go ahead. I was just reminiscing there, man.
Yeah, the good old days
Yeah.
when I could mod literally anything. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's where I also learned how to use Photoshop because modding requires Photoshop as well.
Hmm.
And slowly over time, I switched from Dota 2 to Hearthstone. In Hearthstone, I didn't really do anything. I was starting doing memes in Hearthstone actually
Yeah.
because so I didn't really do memes in Dota 2. I learned how to edit and stuff in Dota 2, and I learned how to meme stuff up in Hearthstone because yeah, I watched a tons of these compilations, and I was like, wow, I want to do something like that. But I didn't do anything with Hearthstone. But except I did one video, which was a life coach game, but every time he roves, it gets faster.
They had a life coach. I haven't heard that name in a while. Yeah. I mean, that was old Hearthstone, man. That was early days. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like my first meme on Hearthstone, I guess. The first video meme I did. And
Wow.
so over time, I got tired of Hearthstone, and I was subscribed to Grip. I'm no longer because it's just too much Hearthstone videos for me because I don't
Yeah.
really care.
Yeah.
But I used to watch Grip a lot, and he once played Elder Scrolls Legends, and I was like, that's an interesting looking game. It certainly is good for me because I'm getting tired of Hearthstone. It
Yeah.
looks like a good alternative, and I checked it out, and I loved it. And ever since I was playing Legends full time.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, that's kind of a common trend, right? The idea of like a lot of people started in Hearthstone, and I think that they've kind of a lot of people that ended up
Yeah,
here
because
saw
it's
Hearthstone and wanted to find something a little more deep, maybe. Although I think that like I mean I still like Hearthstone, but I gotta be honest. I mean, there's a lot more that you can do in Tesla. I gotta imagine from a memeing perspective too. There's a lot more you can do.
yeah. I mean, I would kind of argue because most of those compilations have a lot of random elements and
Hmm.
things,
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
and those are for a highlight reel. Those are more interesting. For
Hmm.
Dessel, there are but for TESOL, there are really clever combos that
Mm.
stretch the boundaries of the game, such as how to draw like a gajillion cards with Cicero, a
Yeah.
video I made. How to draw 911 cards in a
Oh,
single
wow.
turn.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, like, if I go back and think about, like, some of the videos that were on your channel, right? So I remember the one with, I guess it was a bug, and I at the time I didn't know about it, but I was looking at this like a month or two ago.
Which bug?
It was the one,
I-
yeah, the one where the portrait would move.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Dust found that out.
yeah, and I, I remember watching that one and just being utterly amazed, right? And just those little things where, like, I guess you guys were just saying, all right, we want to move it as far as we possibly can.
Yeah, that's what happened. Like we figured out that wow, it moves.
Yeah. And
How
just those
far can
little
we move it?
things. And just those little things, right? It can make for some really amusing content. I actually went back today as I was prepping for the interview, and I was looking at the Jage music videos
Oh boy,
that
yeah.
everybody put together, which were, first off, I mean, the little picture, whatever it's called, like the thing that the album cover, right?
Yeah, the album cover.
Hilarious. But like, so let me talk about that, right? So like, you kind of, I mean, I imagine like a lot of where your reputation comes from started probably in the memeing YouTube sphere, right?
Yeah, actually, so the memeing started on Reddit. I used to do a lot of memes, and they got like tons of upvotes, and I even got 5 or 6 Reddit golds because people love them so much. Like
Yes.
all my Reddit golds are basically just from gifs from memes on these
Yeah.
Legends subreddits. So people really loved it, and oh yeah, the origin story of how hiking Emmerich started. So there is this other guy who also made memes back in the day in like 2016,
Hmm.
16 when the open beta was on,
I
right?
think it was the end of
It was
2016, yeah, and then early
the end of the
2017 was
yeah.
launch, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so around that time there was this other guy whose name is Hungarian, so if I was here to pronounce it, you wouldn't find it because you would search for something else.
Mm-hmm.
But we call him Vitez
Mm-hmm.
or Vitez. And he is also the co-founder of Hiking Emmerich. So, but I saw him making really good memes, and I wanted to get into video editing for the game because I felt that the community needs it. Because
Mm-hmm.
first of all, there weren't really any video memes or compilations, which I was used to in Hearthstone and Dota
Yeah.
2,
Yeah.
because those are commonplace.
Yeah.
And Legends was just completely lacking them. And I decided, well, I wanted to make them. So that's how always some things gets out of my hand. I mean, kind of like literally, not figuratively.
Yeah.
So I always make something based on what I like to watch or what I would like to do
Yeah.
from other games. And I reached out to Vitesse, and we made our first video, which was card lines in real life, episode 1. And we did two, three, 4 other episodes, and then we started moving on into making different kind of videos and not just the same series. And that's where we started the channel.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, it's grown from there. And I know you guys have all been busy. Especially, I know you and Jage have been particularly busy the last month or two, right? Because I mean, that's the thing, like, that I don't think not everyone knows. You know, with the Master Series, I mean, we were working on it before, you know, the weekends where it actually was going on, right?
Don't you talk about it. I
Yeah.
pulled some all-nighters because of that.
Oh, and I know, and just to inform the viewers, right? Some of the funniest things that would go on in the Discord, in the TRS Discord, would be Lateralis getting an image from Sadi and being like, "Oh man, there's a slight misspelling," or "Oh man, there's this, can we do it a different way?" And just Sadi raging. Well, they're like, "I'm going to bed." No, you're not going to bed yet.
That's pretty much how it always worked. But on the other hand, I was lazy a lot of times. Like Lat told me to make a video like a week ago, and I only did it like yesterday. I was starting yesterday.
Yeah. Oh
But I
man.
even said very arrogantly and cheeky that well, watch me, I'll make it. I said that like a week ago,
I'll make it in a
and I
day.
almost didn't. Yeah, and I almost didn't make it, but I did. So
Oh man. Yeah. I imagine like with all the stuff that you do, right? Like I've got to imagine it can be difficult to balance multiple projects, right? Like walk me through
it
that.
is. Like there are people who asked me to do stuff like months ago.
Mhm.
Poor Warrior 7, but he's not even streaming, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
That was evil, but
No, I mean, is
yeah.
Warrior 7 Empire Oathman? I heard that guess. And I was like, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I heard that guess
That's
and
a
I was
good
like, that
question.
that one seems believable. More believable than some of the ones I've heard.
Well,
Although
definitely.
I'm a
He's
big
definitely
fan of
someone's alt account.
yeah, no, for sure. I'm a big fan of it being CVH. I know it's not, but that would be hilarious.
No way.
So tell me, tell me about the kind of work balance.
So how do I
Hmm.
just juggle projects?
Yeah.
So, well, obviously, I just do whatever is the most important, and then just slack all day.
I mean,
If something is not like utterly important
yeah.
or really urgent, I just I tend to go slacking and just be lazy about it. Like um, other than urgency, hardly anything ever motivates me to do something.
Well,
And
clearly,
that's just a fact.
yeah. Hey, clearly you work under pressure well, right? I mean, that's the best work that we get, right? Is the work at the last minute. I've been there, man. I've been there. I remember, I remember writing the last 10 pages of my senior thesis at university. I wrote the last 10 pages in the last 2 hours, so before it was due. So I get that, man. I get that.
Oh, I did worse. I actually, so I also had a thesis, but this was for university because I'm planning to start university next year,
Oh, that's
and
awesome, man.
I'll apply. So there's still an application process I need to get through. But for the first round, I submitted everything I needed to do 4 minutes before the deadline. I was
Wow, dude,
so
really like walking the razor thin line, man.
I was exhausted. I was pulling all nighters, but that was because I just mixed up a deadline with a
Hmm.
different one. Like I was
Ooh.
just talking to my friend, and she said, so I was talking about my friend. Wait, English is hard sometimes.
You're good, man.
So I was talking to my friend, and she said, "Well, are you prepared for the application process?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Well, it's going to be a week away, so I don't even have anything to worry about." And she said, "It's tomorrow." And in that moment, I started full force working on to
Internal
get everything
screaming,
done.
yeah.
Yeah, and I failed that one, that class or something, or branch or apply to, but
Mhm.
I succeeded in the other one, so I'm not mad.
Hey, yeah. Oh man. Let me do this, right? So, I want you to try to count how many members of the community in terms of like who have like YouTube content or Twitch streaming or anything, how many of the people are currently using your images or
My
videos?
stuff.
Yeah, just give me a
Oh
count.
boy. All right.
Give me a count.
Let me see. All right. I'm just gonna look at the Discord DMs.
There you go, right?
So, uh, all right. So should I say names?
I mean, unless there's a confidential thing, you can. If you think they wouldn't
Oh,
want
all
it,
right.
whatever
All
you
right.
want, whatever your terms are. I don't want to get you or anyone else in trouble.
So, Eolis, I made most of her like break images or
Mhm.
starting soon stream ending. I made those images, and I'm editing her videos. So if you
Nice.
like what I do, you should check out Eolis's videos because
Yeah, do
I'm
that.
that's basically what my style, what I use for hiking Emmerich, except it's about one person.
Yeah. I mean, I did an interview with Eolus, just two interview last interview. So now we've got Zadi on here who does the videos for Eolus. So everybody go check out Eolus, who is just absolutely a wonderful person. So definitely do that. But sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
she's the purest person I've ever met.
Yeah.
However, she has some, dirty jokes, and that just ruins the illusion. But nah, she's nice.
She's really, and I just wish she wasn't in on the other side of the world, so I'd actually get to watch her stream more often. So we got Eolus.
So we got Eolis videos and streaming stuff. We got Lasergician thumbnails. We got Costa. I did some of the graphics for his D&D campaigns
Oh,
and
that's
D&D
cool.
streams.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
he's streaming D&D. So,
That's awesome.
and I made some basic graphics for the time being. We promised to get back to it, but
Yeah.
we're working on masters, and so that never really happened. But
Yeah.
it might in the future. I got Josh Sampson. That's a pending project. I'm supposed to make hmm, it's probably confidential, but I have to do stuff for him.
Yeah. All good. All good.
We got Ian Bits. Uh, Older people know, but actually made Ian Bits' avatar. It used
Oh,
to be
really?
it used to be Pickle Rick. And it was so obnoxious during that time because Pickle Rick was like the hot new meme and trend,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, use this avatar.
Yeah.
It's
Very
better.
overused.
Just get rid of Pickle Rick because it's awful.
Yeah. I'm
And I edited one
Where's
video for Ian Bits,
lost it. There we go.
the tricolor
Yeah,
identity
I
video.
remember that one because there was a lot of like visuals that went with that one. That like it was a really high production quality thing, especially because like I know Ian Bits was putting a lot of effort into it. Um, so that was you. I didn't know that was you. I should have
Yeah, it was me.
suspected. I should have suspected.
So for Ian Bits, I actually so should I talk about warp meta? Is it an okay topic?
I don't know. I assume if there's anything under like NDA or anything, then don't.
No,
Uh,
it's a public. So
oh, then I don't care.
I
Yeah,
did
go ahead.
I did graphics for warp meta, which
Mhm.
was through Ian Bits, and unfortunately, warp meta was cancelled. We're not
Mhm.
going to talk about that because I don't know what. My part was the only graphics, and currently Ian Bits is using one of the screens for himself, the end screen. So I made that. There was like a few other, and that's what I did. So for Ian Bits, Warp Meta, his avatar, and one of his videos, which is one of the best videos I've ever made.
Yeah.
That was the intention I was making it, because it was the first bigger video I didn't plan on making a meme out of. So it's a legit video I can just show for as a portfolio material,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, and I think that like right, like the portfolio thing, right? So you're trying to do more, like you're trying to build an entire career around this, right? So it's gotta help to
Yeah.
have all of this kind of background stuff. I mean, shoot, you just did all these videos and visuals for the Master Series. That's got to be impressive, right? Like that's got to
Yeah,
look good.
at first when I was told that I get to work on master sales, I was like, oh, well, cool. But then, as so that's just my usual denseness. But then, after one day, when they told me what I actually needed to do, like I was just told, well, you get the gig, you get the job, freelance, whatever. And then they told me what I needed to do, and I was like, oh my god, I just realized how much work this is. And I
Yeah.
worked for like a whole month on everything. It
Oh
was
man. So we
it was really tiresome, but I think it was worth it.
yeah,
Especially like not many people can say that they made graphics that were showcased on the official Twitch channel of the game.
yeah.
Like that's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
awesome, right? And like, yo, let's talk about those educational videos, man, because those came out so good. They came out so good, man, and that was you and Jade working on that, right? I mean, I all right. We're going. I'm self a brag. I'm a brag. This is a DBN
Yeah, you
brag.
can brag.
It was my idea. But
Yeah,
after
it was
that,
actually DBN's idea. I never heard before Masters, but it was his idea, so I believe him.
But after that, after my idea, like we should do educational videos, then it was Jade and Sadi just wrecking it and making it way better than I could have imagined. Like the snail, dude. The snail was the best part of all of them. The control snail was the best.
Yeah, so I know if
Oh.
some official guys looking at this video right now, we need a snail plushie with the tribunal card back as its shell.
The shell, yeah. Oh man,
That's the official merch we need.
yeah, dude.
I would buy it.
Get in that Bethesda store, Bethesda. We got to get the Snail Tribunal. In fact, that should be the name of the deck as I'm thinking about it. You know, the super reactive one that only wants to play Ice Storms and stuff. We should just call it, instead of Control Tribunal, we'll just call it Snail Tribunal, you know?
Yeah, it's fitting, and
Yeah.
it was debuting in the video, so that the tribunal snail I made in the video is exactly how tribunal works. It just eats all your cards.
And then turns into a big scary snail.
Yeah, and it chases you off of this world.
Yeah. Oh, we had a good time working on all that stuff. Honestly, what was so cool about the Masters series, at least, you know, and obviously we still got the last chance qualifier ahead, which is going to be exciting. But I mean, there was a lot of kind of cross communication, people bouncing ideas off each other and stuff like that, which is really cool. But like with all of the stuff that you did for the Master series, right? But like not just that, but of all the stuff, right? So hiking Emmerich on YouTube, and you know, working on thumbnails, working on that video for Ian Bits, all of the stuff that you've done, right? Like
just a side note, I still haven't gone through all the whole list of people I've worked with.
Yeah,
so
you start counting. Give me a number. I want a number, right? But with all that, like,
well, what were you what did I just interrupt?
oh no, you're
What,
good. I was
line of thought?
just gonna ask, like, while you're counting, what is the one thing in Tesla that you've done that you're like most proud of, right? Like that thing that you're like, this is my signature thing. This is what I'll be remembered for in this community. You know what I mean?
Well, even though that the Masters project was the biggest project I've ever done, I think I'm going to be remembered as Hiking Emmerich in the community, and because so that's the like so I really like to refer to Hiking Emmerich as a group, but really I'm the one doing most of the job, so I just refer to Hiking Emmerich as myself on behalf of everybody else in the group. So it might sound like I'm taking all the spotlight, but to be honest, I deserve it.
Oh, I love that. I'm looking back right now through all of the videos that I'm just like over the existence of hiking Emmerich, right? And just like looking at all of them
Yeah.
and like remembering when I first saw some of these, right? Like the Hitler reacts to Journey nerf, and oh my gosh,
I should be doing more of those, just voiceover parodies, like that
yeah,
video and also the Amazon Echo. Yeah, you should. I should be
yeah.
doing more of those.
Oh,
Those
Amazon
are
Echo.
not
That'd
really
be
hard.
so funny.
We just
Oh,
need a good
wow.
idea.
Yeah, yeah. And like countering conscription for dummies, like there's so
Oh
much
yeah, that
good
was one of
content.
my best videos.
Yeah.
That's straight off one of my best made videos. It's really well constructed. It has a consistent pacing, and in a video, having a consistency throughout the whole video is the most important thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, that's a tip right from the master. That's right. A tip right from the master, guys.
Yeah, if you have a consistent pacing in your video, then you will keep your viewers' attention for the whole video.
So that's not just okay. Actually, that really interests me. Hold on. So what we're talking about now kind of moves past right, like the technical side, but more into like the pacing side of things, right? And like
Yeah, it's like a
storyboarding
theory.
almost, right? So like, tell me about that. Like, share some more of those sweet juicy tips, right? I'm gonna absorb them right here in my head, but like yeah. So talk to me about like how you plan out a video.
Man, the amount of topics we just interrupted because there was something new. There's
You're an interesting man, all right?
yeah. So how to start a video? So obviously you just need a topic which can be just as simple as how much is the most cards I can draw in a game, or uh, just cool combos that you can read on Reddit, you can read on the Legends Discord, because uh, the how to counter conscription for dummies, it wasn't my idea, it was somebody else's, and we just tried to figure out a deck first that could pull it off most easily, because obviously we are rigging those games, like they're not live games most of the time, obviously.
Yeah.
Not always.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do go in, like in Casino Battle Mage. Those are all live games, and
Yeah.
I think that was the point there. Like, I just take the most random deck available to the ladder and see how it goes, and just make a compilation out of it.
Yeah.
So, but to be more technical, it basically goes like this: we come up with the idea in theory, and then we record it. And then it stays there like that for 2 months because nobody has any really good idea how to make the video. And that's probably the most time consuming part anyways, just coming up with the base idea of what I want to do in the video. Because as a video editor, you can do whatever you want, but there's just too much freedom for you sometimes, and you really have like no aim or no like clear vision on what you want to do, because there's just so much things you can do, and it's hard to see initially what's the best idea. That's why I always ask so I have a Discord, obviously it's private, so I just keep it for, it's like a small friend group.
Mhm.
But I always ask them ideas, because I might come up with an idea, but they also might come up with an idea I would have never thought of, and
Yeah.
that's actually better than mine. So that's why all the videos are great, because it's not just the idea of one man, it's an idea of a whole group. So that's where I'm going to give credit to all the people in my Discord for helping me come up with really good and funny ideas.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's definitely a very collaborative effort when you're doing
Yeah,
like your
it's
own content, right?
yes, and they definitely know that. Everybody you ask, they know what it feels like to be to have Zati call them at 3 a.m. on Discord.
I need an
For
idea.
ideas.
Give me something. What do you got off the top of your head? What were you just dreaming about? Yeah.
Yeah, they all know that feeling, and they just joke about it all the time. I mean, they poke fun at me because I sometimes say the stupidest things and do the weirdest stuff, but I know they love me for that.
Well, that's awesome, man. That is actually really an important thing to touch on. I think just for anybody who's interested in kind of doing stuff that like content creation and stuff. Like I love that. Like it's a collaborative effort. You bounce ideas off the people that you know and trust, and understand that sometimes they'll have an awesome piece of the vision that you would have never come up with. Like that's a really useful tip there.
Yeah, it's to be short and for people to timestamp with this video, timestamp now. The most important thing to realize is that so ideas, while you yourself can come up with a good idea, it's what's humorous and not or not is always subjective. So comedy is subjective, and that's why I have other people come up with different ideas. And if you find some like universally good idea, and then that's what I put into the video.
Yeah.
It's really important to just take in multiple perspectives when making a comedy. And making a comedy for me is just making a meme video.
Yeah.
And multiple perspectives really help it to just tailor it so well that it's universally liked.
Yeah, that's really great because, like, man, that's another thing that, like, I don't think I had expected, right? But that idea that, like, the stuff that you guys do when you put together those meme videos, it surpasses just the video editing. It surpasses just the game. It's like you have to, write it out, decide how you want to pace it. You have to kind of you build the comedy. It doesn't just happen. Which actually that's really interesting because I remember watching an interview with a comedian. And they were kind of asking him like, hey, like, what do people do? Are you like the funny guy in your group? He's like, hell no. He's like, no, I'm not the funny guy in my group. I write my comedy. I thought that was really telling. That's kind of what I'm hearing, right? Like you build it.
Yeah,
it builds.
He's right. Yeah, he's right. Absolutely. There's two different types of humor, and one of them is being the same comedian you were talking about. That he just writes it out and he can construct a really good show.
Yeah.
The other is just spontaneous humor, which is also good, but editing can't be spontaneous. Editing just cannot really be spontaneous.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same nature.
Yeah, no, that's really great. Like that's actually like just gosh, everybody should watch DBN and Friends. Comedians should watch DBN and Friends because now you'll get a lesson in comedy.
Yeah, spontaneous humor is really good for streaming.
Yeah.
While you are streaming, you need to be spontaneous, and that's why I think my streams are terrible because my spontaneous humor and my monotone. Yeah, my monotone is just killing everything. It's just killing the entertainment out of it.
Yeah, well, and
Like the only redeeming quality is just me misplaying like a dumb dumbass.
Oh man. Well,
Not
I mean,
gonna lie.
like this, it's for different people,
Yes, I once rammed a Clockwork Scorpion into Almalexia on stream.
Oh no!
Because I'm that just out of focus while streaming the game.
Oh no! That poor Clockwork Scorpion.
I make the worst mistakes.
Oh man. Well, hey, you know what? Like, I think that and I don't know. And actually, that's another question, right? Like, how much do you like with all the work that you have to do, man? How much do you actually get to play these days?
Well, I like to call myself my own boss, who is generous with the free days. That translates to me being lazy.
Yeah. It sounds better the other way, though.
Yeah, I'm a generous boss for
it
myself.
It is, yeah.
I reward myself appropriately.
Yeah, good. That sounds like a healthy work environment.
Yeah, so but to be a bit more serious, I do get time to play, obviously. I just don't get to play when there's something that needs to be done very fast, and that was the Master Series project. I barely got to play anything for like weeks, straight weeks. I couldn't really play like more than 1 or 2 games, and or do anything at all because I just had everything closed. I wasn't even talking to my friends. I just completely forgot and I didn't have time.
Yeah, so let's I wanna sorry, if you go ahead and finish your thought, because I did want to do one more thing before we finish up. But go ahead, yeah, what you got?
Nah, nothing, not really.
Okay, well, I want to run through this list and see if I can. I want to see if I can name each thing that you did in the Master Series qualifiers.
Oh,
I want to see if I can guess and name how many, and just because I want to reiterate to the viewers how much Szoti did in the freaking Master Series, right? So okay, all right. We had the obviously the videos. That's the easiest, right? Educational videos. And then we had the. Did you do the transition? Like the cool transition?
Yeah, the transition.
Transition, right?
That's one. I think that was one of the hardest things to set up because it just didn't work for. I know, like a couple of days. It was really hard to set it up, but we figured it out eventually.
Well, and it looked really cool too. I mean, but I think that's a lot of things that people might say. Oh, I didn't. You don't notice the transition necessarily.
Yeah, if you don't notice something, then it's good.
Yeah. So you did the the intro screen, right? The kind of waiting for the thing to start. You did the outro screen.
Yeah, starting soon.
Yeah.
The credits.
Yeah. You did the all of like the little things, so like the money and prize page. You did that. You did. I mean, like every little scene. You would do the the top 5 decks for the week.
Everything.
All the little slides.
Yeah, you can just say everything you see was made by me.
Yeah, I mean, there's like everything that was seen except for the actual gameplay.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then there was still the overlay that had the score.
Yeah, the overlay score. So I'm just gonna quickly open my folder and just tell you everything I did. So I have like 3 folders with everything.
Oh my gosh.
So one folder is just the the initial video that plays during when the stream starts. That hype video that just gets you pumped up.
That's right, the hype video
for some Legends action.
Mm-hmm.
The hype video was probably one of the best things I've ever did. Yeah. Especially the first qualifiers one with Karakan Zul with the top deck of a lifetime.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean that was the I don't know how much money he made, but it was a pretty big top deck.
Yeah, I think it was like a few $1,000 in Aussie. That's how people refer to it. Yeah, it was great. And the other folder is the educational videos. That's like, I don't know, 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, player bios, credits.
Oh, player bios. Yeah.
The credits, the Masters banner on Battlefy, and the current Twitter banner for Legends. I was so pumped to see it that, wow.
Oh, wait, I don't know. I didn't know you did that. Hold on, I'm going to look at it. It was the Twitter for like the official Test Legends.
Yes, when I first saw it, I was like, wow.
Oh, that's so right. Good. They did put it up there. Oh, wow. Go check that out, guys.
They used it there. It's something I made and they use it. It just felt so good.
That's awesome.
Okay, then the brackets. Credits. I already said that. The versus screen where you see the players' decks.
Oh, the deck list. Yep.
Okay, this is one that is not it's not public yet, but it will be. So that's one.
Yep.
Then the lobby screen. Actually, the lobby screen was something I didn't do originally. I just edited it to have the color scheme of the Masters. The yellow thing, and just edited some information there. So that's probably that's like 50-50. It was it was half done. It was already made. I just edited it to fit the current stream.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have that's the player bios.
Yeah, we got the player bios, which, I mean, for the record, again, each player bio, each week. You know what I mean? Some of them got
Yeah,
reused, but I mean, that's 8, 16, 32, right?
that's a
I'm
lot
bad
of
at I'm
player
bad at math.
bios.
Yeah, 32. Yeah, 32 player bios minus a few of the people that repeated, but yeah. Wow,
It's
that's a
not
lot of
a
player
it's not a
bios.
long process to make players bios, but it's a long list on my Discord DMs because there's so many people messaging me with their personal information, and
Yeah, I got to communicate back and forth and here answer the questions. Yeah.
then we go, the master's points table. Mm, I don't even remember that. Oh yeah, okay, I remember now. Okay, then we got the sidebar. Because starting soon, the top 5 decks that are played in the current top 8.
Yeah, yeah.
That's also one. Will return shortly. The victory screens,
Oh,
where
yeah, at the end of
I
the
put
who for
whoever
one.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The victory screens. Yeah. So much
and that's about
stuff.
it.
Yeah. I mean, but look at that list. And that's all stuff that you had to put together. I mean, when we heard you say, you didn't get much sleep for 4 weeks, that's a really big indication of why. Oh, wow.
Oh
Well,
man.
we are about running out of time,
Yeah,
but I have
my sleep schedule just shifted so much over that even when I don't really have anything to do, I just stay up till 3 a.m.
Yeah, why
because
not? I mean, you're used to it. Yeah.
yeah, I just get used to it.
So I have one more question for you before we close this out. If somebody out there, sees your content and says, "I want to do what Zoti does," right? I want a meme. I want a meme, right? Or if somebody sees
Yeah.
your level of graphic design skill, sees the animations you do, do you have any advice for somebody who's out there looking at your work and saying, "Gosh, just like how you looked at the work of people doing Dota and Hearthstone, but
Yes.
somebody looking at what you're doing, say, I think I can do that. I want to do that." What advice would you give them?
So obviously the most cliche answer is practice, because that's how everything works. And as bad as it sounds, like practice, it sounds like a big commitment, obviously, but that's one of the main things for anything basically, and for video editing as well. But to give you a more concrete answer that you might not hear said right away is just first try to replicate something that you want to do. That's kind of on par. That's kind of on par with watching a tutorial, because in a tutorial you're also making the exact same thing as the guy showing you in the tutorial. But if you don't have a tutorial, you just need to kind of replicate the video, and I did that a lot of times. You just need to watch the video with an analytical sense, that how was that effect achieved, how was that made, how was that animated or cut, and that that compensates for a tutorial about that exact same type of video. Again, this is probably not a beginner advice, but once you master the basics,
Mm-hmm.
you will get the ability to analyze the videos and see the structure of it. And that's what I do in a lot of these videos. So I get the idea, and I know that if that idea was made in the style of like a completely different video from a completely different game, I just watch that video from that completely different game and try to analyze how it was made, and I just apply all that knowledge to my video, and that's how I edit most of the times.
That's
Or,
awesome. Yeah.
in short, copying.
Yeah. That's seriously useful advice though, right? Nothing is wholly original anymore. It's just simply about putting your different takes on things, right?
Yeah.
And
If you copy enough people, they will believe it's your original, you're unique. So you copy more people, then they will think you're a genius.
yeah, I mean, what is it? It's copying is the most sincere form of flattery, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Like,
awesome.
it's so good you want to make something like that, and that's
Yeah.
what I always did in my whole, career. Because I don't really have a full-time job. I'm just freelancing for everybody.
Yeah.
I wanted to copy the Dota 2 trailer. I wanted to copy the Hearthstone memes, and here I am. I
Yeah.
can now come up with my own things
Yeah.
based on that copying knowledge.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. This has been an awesome and I hope extremely informative interview for all of you out there interested in memeing and graphic design, from the king memer himself, SzotyMAG, or otherwise known as Hiking Emmerich. And guys, don't forget to check out some of his work. We will have links to Hiking Emmerich, the YouTube page below, as well as the Twitter. And you can also tune in for the Last Chance qualifier in a week or two, and see some of those educational videos. You can see the Tribunal Snail and all the fun stuff. Keep a look around. I promise you, as you look around the Elder Scrolls Legends community, you will see Zzoty's work everywhere. Thank you so much, Zzoty, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this episode of DBN and Friends. I had a blast chatting with SzotyMAG, and I hope you did too. We'll see you next time, but until then, don't forget to check out TeamRankstar.com for more great Elder Scrolls Legends content.